when I think about moving somewhere else, I think, how am I gonna buy my plantain and okra? Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Nigerian in London. My name is Dabi. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I really do appreciate it. So today's video, as you can tell from the title, is all about the pros of living in London. Some will be pros of living in the UK as well as London, but yeah. So obviously I have lived in the UK for a bit of time now. I've lived here for 4.5 years, and I think similar to any city in the world, London has a number of pros and a number of cons. I thought I'd start off with something positive and share some things I love about the city with you. If you enjoyed today's video, please remember to hit the like button, and if you like London related content, this is the place to be. Subscribe, support my ministry, and yeah, you'll see a lot more London-y videos. So I'll get straight into the video. So the first thing is the NHS. The NHS stands for National Health Service, and this is basically a system that is in place in the UK that takes care of the people's healthcare kind of needs. The NHS is amazing. We are so blessed to have the NHS because it is free. It is kind of free. You basically go into any hospital, or if you have like a healthcare related issues, for most health issues, and you don't actually pay anything on the spot. They don't send you any bill or anything like that. But the free part of it isn't actually free. It is paid for through your tax. So by you paying tax, you are funding the NHS, if that makes sense. So it feels like it's free, but it's not totally free. And I will say also that the NHS is not at the kind of quality level that it used to be because of the panoramic situation that's been going on, if you get what I mean. But it is also currently a bit underfunded. But regardless, the NHS is amazing. We are so blessed to have the NHS. Like, all this healthcare, being sick is not fun. So removing that element of it is amazing. One of my personal favorite things about living in London is the diversity. Like, it's the type of diverse that you don't really realize until you go somewhere else and try to compare it. You can find people from every corner of this world in London, which also means, for me, a foodie like me, you can find so many different types of food. You have access to so many different types of culture, and I think that's just a beautiful thing. Having that level of diversity and meeting people from places that, like, you've never even heard of their country or their city. It's a very beautiful experience, and you get to do that so many times in this country, in this city in particular, because London is a lot more diverse than like a lot of other parts of the country. So one major pro for me, advantage of living in London, and one of the reasons I find it difficult to even imagine moving out of London, is the availability of products. Now this extends to like so many different things. So this could be stuff like makeup, this could be hair products, this could be types of food from like my culture, Nigerian food for example. It's something that's really easy to take for granted if you've lived in London for a long period of time. But I find when you go to smaller towns, or you go to like other countries in particular, as a black woman, like, I go on holiday sometimes, forget foundation, then I'm not wearing foundation because I can't just walk into a shop and get my color. They have like 2 shades for black people and like 20 different shades for like white people, and then yeah, I get they might not have as many black people, but if you get what I mean, it is nice to have that access to things that I want. And similar for food, for example. So availability of different types of food, because connected to that kind of the whole diversity thing, because you have people from all these different communities, you have their food, you have shops kind of that are targeted at their community. So you have like, I have shops where I can go and buy all the Nigerian food I could possibly think of. If I go to Peckham or like Lewisham, I can find all the Nigerian food I'm looking for. And there are these shops for other different communities as well, and I think that's a really beautiful thing. So when I think about moving somewhere else, I think, how am I going to buy my plantain and okra? Where am I going to get hair products that are appropriate for my hair? Because obviously I don't have like white people's kind of hairs, just different products. So I think that is a really cool thing that we have going on. Public transportation. I know some people think London doesn't have the best public transportation in the world, and that's true, but it is good. It is pretty good. I don't have a car. I've never even really considered buying a car because public transportation is so good. I just think, why do I need a car? Obviously, if you have maybe kids, or if you're someone who needs to go cross country quite a lot, that might be appropriate for you. But London in particular is a city you can live in very easily without owning a car. We have so many different types of public transportation. We have buses, we have trains, we have the tube, the underground tube, we have like bicycles, the Santander bikes. There's just so many options. In certain areas there are trams, and I think it's very well connected as well. Every time I go to America and I'm not in maybe like New York or certain areas, like once you're out of the really big cities in America, I feel like that is it. You need a car. If not, the bus is a bloody struggle. And I find this with a lot of, it actually is the case in a lot of different towns in the UK as well. So a lot of smaller towns don't have as good public transportation, which is a bit of a shame. But London, good public transport. And last but not least, free stuff. There are a very unexpected amount of free things that you can do in London. Most of the major museums are completely free to go into. A lot of the galleries, the National Gallery for example, are. There are other things like the Sky Garden for example, that's at the top of the Birkin building, completely free to get into. The Barbican Conservatory, I think it's called. I went there a couple years ago. It's so beautiful. If you like plants, totally free to get into. And I think that is something that is quite unique, that is not similar in every single major city. You can do cool things completely for free. So a bit of context as to why I'm making this video in the first place. I actually have a bigger following on Instagram. If you're not already following me on there, maybe check it out. And I had this one reel that went viral, and I'll insert a clip here. Content I share on there is very different from what I share on here. It is a lot more lighthearted, but I was basically flagging people down who are trying to move to London because of fun. And that video got a lot of love, and it also got an amount of hate that I wasn't ready for, to be quite honest. People can be very hateful and very mean. And I think the people who didn't like the video and thought it would be like appropriate to just bully me and literally place curses on me and cuss me out and all that, their reasoning basically was that I was misleading people, which I don't understand. Because one, why would anyone as a grown adult move to another country because of fun? I didn't know that was a thing people did. That is obviously a stupid idea. You'll be disappointed anywhere you go, because almost everywhere you will find some fun, and London is a fun place to live. But similar to anywhere else, it's not just all fun. For example, first of all, a lot of people in London are very, very busy. That's just normal. We all know that. And then also London is a very expensive place to be, which kind of connects to the first thing. And the one that kind of blew my mind was that for people to think that would mean they are taking the video as advice, and I don't know why anyone would be taking a 10-second comedy video from the internet as advice. That seems like, are you really making good life decisions? I don't know. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. I'm not sure if you guys want to see a cons of living in London, which is like a part 2, stuff that's not as great about living in London. If you do want to see it, please drop a comment in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.